Hey, don't drink that! What the heck are you doing?
Hey, you guys in the creek, stop for a second.
Look up!
Did you know that Kentucky has more miles of navigable water, about 1,100 miles, than any other state besides Alaska?
That's pretty nifty and all, but should we care? What makes water so important? It's not like it's needed for life or anything.
Well, actually, vacuous child, water is the reason humans and animals are alive. It is also used to grow our food and power our homes.
I'm sorry. Now I understand. I've been enlightened. Thanks, voice.
Pollution is split into two groups, non-point and point source pollution. Point source pollution is any single identifiable source of pollution from which pollutants are discharged, such as a pipe, ditch, ship, or factory. An example is factories. They typically discharge one or more pollutants in their discharge waters and effluents, sometimes directly into a body of water.
However, there is also non-point pollution. A non-point source of pollution means that the pollutant cannot be identified from one specific source. Instead, it's from multiple different sources releasing similar pollutants. It happens when runoff water from rain or snowmelt moves through and picks up any waste along the way. For example, agricultural runoff is considered a non-point source of pollution. This is because the buildup of pesticides, fertilizers, and animal waste in bodies of water is from multiple different farms, and therefore cannot be traced back to one specific farm, making it a non-point source pollution. Agricultural runoff, as mentioned above, is a non-point source of pollution. Agricultural runoff includes any type of animal waste, fertilizer, pesticide, or product that helps the production of crops or livestock. This agricultural runoff ends up in our water sources by water like rain or snowmelt moving through and picking up leftover chemicals from those products and depositing them into water sources.
Industrial pollution is a type of water pollution. Industrial accounts for 19% of the water used worldwide. A lot of this water is used for cooling down the power plants, and factories typically discharge one or more pollutants in their discharge water, called effluents, sometimes directly into a body of water. An example of industrial is also oil. Oil spills are the release of a liquid petroleum hydrocarbon into the environment, especially marine area. This is due to humans and it greatly affects us. We not only consume the animals that are filled with the oil, but it gets into our water sources, and many health problems can come with that, obviously. So groundwater is also a type, and groundwater is when pollutants are released into the ground and make their way into the groundwater. It can cause hazards to public health through poisoning or the spread of disease, which obviously is going to kill you.
Chemical water pollution is caused by cosmetics and pharmaceuticals entering the water. Long before scientists realized that these medicines can drastically affect bodies of water and the wildlife in them, doctors suggested to dump any old or not used medicines down the toilet to safely get rid of them. This caused problems not only for humans but also for wildlife. Water treatment centers were not built to filter out medication, so high levels of concentrated hormones like testosterone and estrogen were still present in the water we were drinking. These high levels of hormones cause boys and girls to hit puberty at a younger age. Not only have these untreated hormones affected humans, but it also affected wildlife. For example, high amounts of estrogen were introduced to a swamp area with a lot of frogs, and eventually the male frogs were changed into female frogs, which could affect the population drastically. Another way these hormones enter the waters through our pee. This is because after our body breaks down the medicine, and the hormones and chemicals are still present, and the only way for our body to get rid of these hormones is by peeing it out. Cosmetics are also a bad form of pollution because the cosmetics we use are made up of different chemicals that once washed down the drain can be harmful to animals and humans. For example, some illegal skin lightening products contain mercury in them, and once washed down the drain can combine with other chemicals to form a super deadly formula of methyl mercury. Also, studies have shown that chemicals used in a lot of sunscreens can harm coral. Ironic, isn't it?
So the stuff we use to look pretty is pretty much killing us and anything that's in the water.
Who cares?
Nice.
This really brings out my eyes.
Yeah, let's just pour it down the drain.
Okay.
Yep. Hey, you little rule breaker. Goodness.
You'll never catch me!
The EPA regulates water laws in the US. They control how much water can be used and what goes into our water. It is important to have laws regulating and regarding how much water and what water we use, because we need to make sure that what we intake won't kill us.
Without water treatment plants, our water would be laced with deadly microorganisms and chemicals that could give us diseases or potentially kill us. 3 of the many things our water is treated for is ammonia, nitrogen, chlorine, and phosphorus. One of the molecules commonly found in fertilizers is ammonia and nitrogen. Ammonia and nitrogen can cause eutrophication, which is where water runoff picks up leftover ammonia and nitrogen and deposits it into bodies of water. As a result, algae forms on the surface, taking all the oxygen underneath, choking the aquatic life forms under the water's surface, killing them. Chlorine can also be tested for in water. It is commonly used as an antibacterial agent to kill off bad bacteria that lives in water, which is why it could be found in different water sources. Lastly, water is treated for phosphorus. There is a high amount of phosphorus in Kentucky's water due to the fact that there is a lot of limestone around Kentucky. Phosphorus is another reason why our horse farms thrive, because phosphorus-rich grass means there are a lot of healthy foals.
Awesome. There are several ways that we can prevent water pollution. These include reducing the amount of things we throw away by recycling, which means instead of putting your pop can in the trash can, go and put it in the recycling bin or whatever you have. We can also conserve the amount of water we use, which means no singing and dancing in the shower for an hour. And lastly, we can teach other people on why water is important, because if they don't know, then obviously you're not going to care. It's going to be like, well, I don't even know what that means. I'm not going to care at all.
Wow, this water's really clear.
Hold on, wait a second. Oh my goodness, she has died because of water pollution. And, I mean, that's what's going to happen if we don't change this. Because we think it's not going to affect us. And it may not affect us, but it will definitely affect children and the next generation. And that would be bad as well. So we got to fix that. Otherwise, that will happen. Yep, that's about it, friends.
Tell my family I love them.